I want to introduce this next QHH Healing Through the Heart Hypnosis session. And I've kept the session in its entirety on here. It's a full session. I don't even know if I have a full hypnosis portion session. Of the sessions that I give quantum healing hypnosis, I call them Healing Through the Heart hypnosis. And this is really powerful. This is my client. I want to thank my client for giving me permission to post this on social media, on YouTube. This is his very first hypnosis. He's never had hypnosis before that, he's aware of, and he chose quantum hypnosis. He's a really lovely, sweet guy, and he is a plant-based, nutrition-focused, a nutrition coach and a raw food advocate, practitioner, and educator. And he's very, very passionate about it. And that's how he found me. And he lives in the Portland metro area of Portland, Oregon, USA, where I live. So this is the very first in-person session that I've had since last summer, which is really wonderful to have an in-person session. He came to me wanting to know what his life purpose is. Now, that's the most common question that people have when they come to me for a session. And it turns out he was already doing his life purpose, which is usually the case as well. He saw two past lives. The first one he went into right away, which was the life previously to this one. And why this session is so significant, they're all significant, but this one has a particular theme of simplify your life. Live in the now, let go of ideas of what it should look like or what it should be like, because that's all coming from the mind. And his main spirit guide named Christopher was at times laughing at the ego and saying, it's all good. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and you're doing beautifully. So the life before this one, it was a wonderful way for him to see that he did not finish many aspects of what he wanted to learn about himself in the previous life, which we figured out was in the 20th century, in the 1900s. And you'll see in there how I've clued in. I'd never asked him what year it was. Linear time is so flawed and we time jump all the time. I wanted to know what kind of characteristics of that time period, what is happening then. And that's how we determined the time period that he was in. But he has lessons in that life that he still didn't learn, and so they've rolled over into his current life. And there's a lot of repeats, which happens often. And then when he's talking with his main spirit guide, Christopher, when he's in the light after that life, then he's shown the life previous to the past life and shown how that's also affecting his life. So he sees two past lives and talks with his spirit team and sees a couple of angels and gets his answers. He got all of his answers. Very powerful session, and I thank him. It's very profound. Also, I want to thank my producer, Joe Pena, who has polished this up beautifully. And I recorded on Zoom. Sound quality is not always great, so he has made it as sound worthy as he possibly can, working with his wonderful skills. So I want to thank Joe Pena. I'm grateful for your work. And if you're interested in Joe's voiceovers, his sound production, his video production, please go to his website, joepenaproductions.com. It'll be in the end titles. And if you're interested in a QHH Healing Through the Heart hypnosis session with me, you can go to my website, soniawilderwellness.com, and we'll get you scheduled. Thank you so much for tuning into this, and enjoy this powerful quantum healing hypnosis session and the wonderful universal message. Ooh, tell me about the tree.
It's like a big tree, big trunks.
Big tree.
It's warm.
And it's warm?
Warm feeling.
It's a warm feeling? Good. Describe the tree, all the details of the tree.
Tree, an oak tree. It has a swing on it.
It has a swing on it. Tell me about the swing.
It's like it's held up by a rope on a big branch.
It's held up by a rope and a tree branch.
2 ropes.
Two.
On each side.
What color is the swing?
Brown, wooden.
Brown wooden swing. And how do you feel with the swing?
It's nice.
Hmm?
It's warm.
Have you been on the swing before?
Yeah.
So I want you to go and sit on the swing. Tell me how it feels to sit on it.
Feels sturdy.
As you're sitting on the swing, I want you to look down in your mind's eye at your feet and tell me what your feet look like.
Bare feet.
What color is your skin?
White.
And I want you to look up your legs and tell me, are they bare or is there something on your legs?
Shorts.
Shorts? And tell me what color are the shorts?
Brown.
And now I want you to feel up your body and look up your body in your mind's eye and tell me, what are you wearing?
Nothing. It's just shirtless.
Shirtless with your shorts. So I want you to tell me what your chest looks like.
Shirt looks like.
What does your chest look like?
It's just like a kid.
How old do you feel that you are here?
6.
So you have the chest of a little boy. What do your arms look like to you?
It's like before. It's like young.
Young. So I want you to feel your face in your mind's eye. What does the 6-year-old boy's face feel like?
Soft.
Soft. What does your nose feel like?
Small.
And what color are your eyes?
Blue.
What color is your hair?
Blonde.
Very good. And is your hair short or medium or long?
It's short.
What texture is it?
It's soft.
And so I want you to acclimate yourself into this body of this 6-year-old. Be the 6-year-old here. And swing on the swing and tell me, do you live close by? Good. I want you to come off the swing now. And I want you to go to your house. I want you to stand in front of your home and tell me, describe for me where you live. What does it look like?
Open. And a lot of land. It's near a wooded area.
Near a wooded area. And is your house medium or big or small?
It's medium.
And who lives in the house with you?
My mom.
Your mom. Any other family members?
No.
So I want you to walk into your house and go in and describe for me what you see.
See a dinner table near the front. Dog.
Tell me about the dog. Describe the dog.
It looks like a blue ear dog.
What do you call the dog? Listen for the name of the dog. What do you call the dog?
Cassie.
Cassie. When I say Cassie, does that sound true?
Yeah.
Very good. Now I want you to see your mom in the house. Describe your mom for me. She's home.
She's long hair. Brunette.
Long hair and a net?
Brunette.
Oh, a brunette. Okay. What does her face look like?
Like a pointy nose.
Mm-hmm. What color are her eyes?
Light brown.
Mm-hmm. And I want you to look deeply into your mother's eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. I want you to connect with your mother heart to heart and soul to soul here. Do you recognize her in your current life as Jeremy? Who does she remind you of?
Like her.
Very good. And so now I want you to listen to what your mom calls you. What does your mom call you? What name do you have? Mm-hmm. Say the first name that comes in.
Jeremy.
Does she call you Jeremy?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So Jeremy, anything else in this moment, in this scene, that's important that you need to know?
Yeah, it just feels like the dad's not there.
Mm-hmm. It feels like the dad is not there. Where is your dad?
I don't know.
Do you remember having a dad?
Mm-mm.
Mm. Are there any siblings?
No.
No. Is there anything else that's important about this moment that you need to know?
No.
Very good. Let's close this scene and let's go to another scene in this life of Jeremy. Go to another scene in the life that has something significant that is happening. Be there now and tell me the first thing you see.
My school.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about your school.
It's a smaller school.
It's a smaller school. Where is this school? Is it close to your house or is it far away?
It's further away.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about the school.
It has a flagpole at the front.
A flagpole at the front. Mm-hmm. Tell me more. What else does it have?
It's a lot of kids in the distance at the entrance.
At the entrance.
It's the first day of school.
It's the first day of school. What grade are you in?
First grade.
First grade. And so tell me what happens next.
My mom was dropping me off. It's time for me to go to the kids in the front to get ready to go inside.
And what happens?
I just go there. It seems like I don't know anybody.
Seems like you don't know anybody. You don't have any friends there that are going there with you.
Mm-mm.
So what happens next?
We are going inside. As we're going inside, we have the specific costumes to go into.
Mm-hmm.
We're being seated.
You're being seated. What happens next?
I feel nervous.
You feel nervous. Why are you nervous?
I don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of what the kids would think of.
So what happens next?
They do attendance.
Mm-hmm. They do attendance. And what name do they call you? What do you hear?
Jeremy.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And so what happens next?
It looks like they're handing out papers or something.
They're handing out papers. And how do you feel?
I just want to go back home.
And so what happens next?
It feels like I'm being looked at by the other kids.
Feels like you're being looked at by the other kids. And how do you feel about that?
I don't want to be there. And I just feel scared.
So tell me what happens next.
And it's like I'm doing the assignment that we're supposed to do, but I'm just looking out the window.
What are you looking at out the window?
The grass field.
Why are you looking out the window?
I'd rather be out there.
And so what happens next?
The teacher keeps telling me to pay attention.
So I want you to see the teacher in your mind's eye clearly. Describe for me the face of the teacher.
Kind of like intimidating. Looks like she's frustrated about me because I'm looking outside.
And I want you to see her face very clearly and describe for me her eyes. What color are her eyes?
Like dark color.
And I want you to connect with her heart to heart and soul to soul deeply in her eyes. And tell me if you recognize her in your current life.
Yeah.
Who does she remind you of?
Just as another teacher.
Very good. And so I want you to tell me what happens next.
To the office.
And what happens?
I get sent home.
Why do you get sent home?
It's just because I'm not paying attention. Yeah.
Because you're not paying attention. So what happens when you get home? Do you go home by yourself or does your mom come and pick you up?
My mom comes to pick me up.
And what happens next?
She's mad that I'm just distracted.
And so what does she say to you?
That I'm a waste of time.
How does that make you feel?
I'm sad. That she doesn't love me.
What happens next when she brings you home?
I have to go to my room.
How do you feel about that?
I'm just alone and sad. It's like I have no one to talk to. Just all alone. I just feel just alone and it's not listened to.
So is there anything else in this moment in your bedroom that is important for you to know?
No.
Very good. I want you to close this scene. I'm going to count to 3. And when I get to 3, you are going to be in a very important moment in that life that has significant information for you. 1, going to a most powerful moment. 2, an impactful moment in that life as Jeremy. 3, be there. Tell me the first thing that you see.
I'm in a forest.
Tell me about the forest.
I'm hiking with some friends.
Hiking with some friends. How old are you?
Like 14, 13.
You're hiking with some friends, and what's happening?
We're laughing, having fun. We're looking over at a cliff and we see a river.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just, it's summertime.
What happens next?
We're just having fun. Just hiking and joking around.
How many friends are there?
2 or 3.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel particularly connected to one more than the others?
Yeah.
Who do you feel connected with?
Josh.
Mm-hmm. Is that his name, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Describe Josh for me. What does he look like?
He's brunette.
Mm-hmm.
He's about my height.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to look into his eyes and tell me what color his eyes are.
Brown.
Mm-hmm. And connect with him heart to heart and soul to soul. Do you recognize him from your current life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who does he remind you of?
My friend, Holy Boy.
Very good. So now you're hiking with your friends and you're connected with Josh, and what happens? What's happening here? What's significant about this?
I feel connected with all of them, but especially him. And I'm just grateful to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Grateful to be heard and known. And just that we have things in common.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So is there anything else in this scene that has significance for you?
Yeah, just a nice day. I'm just grateful to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Just spending time with friends and just knowing that it's the little things that matter the most.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Let's close this scene. Now I want you to go into a scene in that life where something impacts you. Something impacts you. You're there now. Tell me the first thing you see.
Like a car wreck.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about the car wreck.
It happened right in front of me.
It happened right in front of you?
In my car.
In
Or
your
not.
car?
I saw it from my car.
Oh, so did the wreck happen to you, or you were a witness?
I witnessed it.
Mm-hmm. And what happens?
One person died.
Mm-hmm. And what happens next?
I just sit there in disbelief and just remembering how grateful I am to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
And to see the terror and fear that they have.
Mm-hmm. And how does that impact you?
Just, it makes me feel for them, but at the same time, again, just reminds me of how fast life can go. And it's just important to not take things for granted.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Is there anything else in this moment that has significance for you?
You know,
Very good. Let's close this scene. Now I want you to go to a moment in that life where there is something profound that happens for you. Be there now and tell me the first thing you see.
somewhere at nighttime,
Mm-hmm. Somewhere at nighttime. Who's we?
my friend,
Mm-hmm. Who's your friend?
Josh.
Your friend Josh. And how old are you here with Josh?
He's 23.
How old is Josh? And so you're somewhere where it's dark. Where are you?
We're walking somewhere downtown.
Downtown where?
Some city.
What city are you in? Allow the name of it to come forward easily. Tell me the first name you hear.
It's Douglas.
Douglas. Does that sound true for you when I say Douglas? Very good. So you're in the city of Douglas. What are you doing in the city?
I don't know, we're just walking and exploring.
You're just walking and exploring. And what happens next?
We're talking about something.
What are you talking about?
About something that happened to me and my ex-girlfriend or something.
What happened between you and your ex-girlfriend?
We broke up.
Why did you break up?
Because we disagreed. We disagree on the way our life, the way we want our life to be.
And how do you feel about breaking up with your girlfriend?
Mad.
And so what happens next?
It's like
Looks like what?
it's like he got ran over when we crossed the road.
Who got run over?
Josh.
Josh got run over as he crossed the road? And what do you do? What happens next?
He's dead.
So I want you to feel this moment and allow the emotions to flow. It's important. Allow yourself to experience this moment. Good. I want you to describe for me while you're allowing the emotions to flow. Describe for me what happens.
I'm sitting there with him. In shock and just. I was worrying about myself and what I was going through. And then all of a sudden, it's him getting hit. He was just there, and I see the driver get out. Yeah, that's just what I remember.
Very good. And what happens next now?
Ambulance is coming, and they're just asking what happened and how. I'm sorry.
And what happens? The ambulance is coming.
And they put him in the ambulance, and we go to the hospital. And then I had to go to a pay phone.
You have to go to a payphone.
And I had to call his mom.
Mm-hmm. You have to call his mom.
Yeah.
Do you have to put a coin into the payphone in order to call?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go ahead and put the coin in. How much does it cost?
25 cents.
Okay, 25 cents. You call his mom, and what happens?
I have to tell him what happened. I don't care what happened.
Mm-hmm. And what happens next?
She's crying. She's crying after I explained to her what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I say that I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm. And what happens next?
We all go to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
We were there at the hospital, and he's dead. So, yeah. And we're just there.
Mm-hmm. And what happens next?
We're just hugging each other.
You and his mother, Josh's mother,
And his family.
and his family. And then what happens?
And then they want to be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to go home.
And you have to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And how is that for you going home after this?
It feels like the world is crumbling.
Mm-hmm. So allow yourself to feel that the world is crumbling. And what do you do next?
Call the ex-girlfriend,
Mm-hmm. What is her name?
Mandy.
Mandy. And I want you to see Mandy's eyes in your mind. Describe Mandy's eyes for me. What do they look like?
Blue.
Mm-hmm. I want you to connect with her deeply, heart to heart, and soul to soul. And tell me, do you recognize Mandy in your current?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. And what do you tell Mandy when you talk to her on the phone?
I just told her sorry for just anything that I've ever done to her that could have affected her, and I explained to her what happened with Josh dying.
What does she say?
She's shocked. She's sorry too for anything that she's done.
She's shocked too, and she's sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Then what happens?
Now we ended up going and hanging out,
Mm-hmm.
talking that night. And just talking about how we both overthought everything. And that we're making things a bigger deal than what they are. How just how easy it is for life to just go fast.
Mm-hmm. And so then what happens?
Just after talking for a while, I go home and of course tell everything to my mom.
And what does she say?
She's just shocked and she says, wow. And she's shocked at how things can happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sorry for the family.
She's sorry for the family.
Josh.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Is there anything else in this moment with your mom that is significant for you?
No.
Very good. Let's close this scene and let's go forward in this life to a moment that gives you great clarity about yourself. Be there now and tell me the first thing you see.
There at the nature.
You're in nature?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about being in nature.
I guess I'm fishing.
You're fishing. Tell me about that.
Fishing, and I have a journal.
Is there anybody there with you?
No.
And how old do you feel in this moment?
Like 28.
And you're fishing and you have a journal. And what are you doing?
It's writing about anything that comes to my mind. Just writing about just poetry. Writing about reflecting on my life. It's what's important to me in my life.
What is important to you in your life?
Just knowing that as long as I cherish my friendships and my family, that's all that matters. And as long as I show up for them, and be who I am, truly, and not be somebody else, or pretend to be somebody else. That's all that matters.
Very good. Is there anything else in this moment that is significant for you?
No.
Very good.
I'm in the restroom.
I'm going to tap your shoulder. Tap your shoulder. You're going to sit up and go easily to the bathroom. And when you come back, you will go under even more deeply. Just right there. Relax even more deeply. You're relaxing and you're more comfortable in your body than you have ever been before. More comfortable in your skin and more comfortable in yourself. And now, in the life as Jeremy with blonde hair, you're fishing and you have a journal and you're writing about your thoughts and your impressions. Is there anything else in this moment while you're fishing and journaling and being alone in nature that's significant for you? Very good. So now we're going to close the scene. I'm going to count to 5. And when I count to 5, you are going to be in a very powerful moment in this life. 1, going forward in time. 2, relaxing even more into yourself. 3, knowing the most powerful moment in life. 4, you're seeing and feeling everything clearly. And 5, tapping your forehead. You're there. Tell me the first thing that you see.
Cliff.
Tell me about the cliff.
I'm stuck. I can't get up.
You're stuck.
Hiking by myself.
Where did you get stuck?
Cliffside above the ocean.
Do you have hiking equipment with you? What ocean are you at? What's the first name that comes to mind?
Pacific.
Pacific Ocean, and you're on a cliff. And where are you at on the Pacific Ocean? What land are you on? What's the first name that comes to mind?
Queen. Yeah, Queen.
Say that again.
So the Y.
That starts with a Y. And so you're say again.
Like something head.
Like something head. Does anybody know you're there hiking? And so what happens next is you're stuck.
I'm panicking. Because I fell off and onto the side of the cliff.
You fell off onto the side. Are you injured?
No.
So what happens next?
Somebody saw me.
Who saw you?
Another hiker.
And what happens?
I saw them. And they helped me.
They help you up. And what happens next?
I just hugged them and said thank you.
Is there a male or female that helped you?
And
And look into his face. Describe his face for me.
very joyful.
Joyful. What do his eyes look like?
And bright. And was very happy.
Connect with him heart to heart and soul to soul. Do you recognize him in your current life? Who is he?
I don't know, but I just feel like I do.
Do you feel connected to him? Yeah. Yeah. So what happens next after you spend a moment with him?
I don't know, we just talk about how, just how life is so beautiful and how it can go by quick. It's just making sure that we enjoy each moment. And
Making sure that you enjoy each moment. And anything else significant about this?
yeah, I think we became friends.
You became friends. And what do you call this man? What's his name?
Joey.
Joey? And so tell me about Joey. Tell me about your friendship with Joey.
We just go on a lot of trips together.
You start traveling together?
Like hiking trips. And
Where do you hike?
the Northwest.
Do you live in the Northwest? Does he live in the Northwest?
He travels there.
And so tell me about your adventures hiking with Joey in the Northwest.
Yeah, we just learn a lot from each other. We have a very similar life, very similar views.
So what happens next?
Enjoy writing a book together.
You write a book together. Tell me about the book.
And the book is about our adventures and connection with nature and how it affects us at a deep level.
And does the book get published? No, you write it for each other. And so tell me what comes from writing this book together.
Just deep friendship.
And how long does this friendship last in that life?
A very long time.
Mm-hmm. So now I want you to close the scene and I want you to go to the last day of your life. That's Jeremy in that life. Go to the last day of your life and tell me, what does the last day of your life look like? What is it like?
Peace.
Mm-hmm. How old are you when you leave your body?
83.
83. What do you die of?
Natural.
Naturally. Very good. And who's around you when you leave?
No one.
No one. You're by yourself. Where's Joey?
He passed away.
He did. Were you there with him when he passed away?
No.
Mm-hmm. And when you look back on your life, were you ever in a relationship?
No.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any children?
No.
Mm-hmm. And what happened to your mother? Mm-hmm. Were you there when she passed away?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I want you to take your last breath and rise up out of that body. And tell me what you see and experience as you rise up out of that body.
Just feeling lightness and kind of grateful and peaceful.
Mm-hmm. And now I want you to reflect as you rise up out of that body, feeling peaceful and reflecting. What was the purpose of that life? What were you learning in that life?
To not take things so seriously.
To not take things so seriously. What else?
Just to make sure that I show up for the people that matter.
To make sure that I show up for the people that matter. Anything else?
Just cherish every moment and that just know that even if you don't have a lot of friends, it's all about just cherishing the friends that have that strong, close relationship with you. Just knowing that friendships can just disappear out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Cherish the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Very good. As you're rising up, I want you to describe for me what you see as you're leaving that life behind you. What do you see?
Just kind of like that, like just getting like that past life, like as I go up higher and higher, sort of like getting smaller
Mm-hmm.
and smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see it in the distance, getting smaller. And then I'm just floating above. And
Mm-hmm. Where are you?
like, it's like nothingness.
Mm-hmm. How does it feel in the nothingness?
Like peaceful.
Mm-hmm. So enjoy that peace and the nothingness. Enjoy it knowing that you experienced a really powerful life. As you're enjoying that nothingness and the peace, I want you to use all of your senses and feel and know that your spirit guides are there and your angels are there. All of your guides are there. I want you to feel them and I want you to tell me when you see them. Mm-hmm. Tell me, how many do you see? How many are there?
3.
3. And allow the 3 to come forward. And allow the first one to come forward. And allow the first one to identify themselves. And tell me who the first spirit guide is.
Jacob.
Jacob. Who is Jacob? Does Jacob look like an angel or say that Jacob is an angel? Ask Jacob what he is. What does he tell you?
He says, I'm protector.
He says, I'm your protector. Wonderful. Does Jacob have any messages for you today?
Let's keep being present.
Keep being present. Anything else? And allow the second spirit guide to come forward. And tell me who that is.
Gabriel.
Gabriel. And who is Gabriel?
Angel. Friend.
An angel and a friend. Very good. What message does Gabriel have for you today?
I don't know.
Ask Gabriel. What does Gabriel say?
You're on the right track.
You're on the right track. Anything else?
Let's keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward. Anything else?
He wants me to know that he's there for me.
He's there for you. Anything else? I want you to allow the third spirit guide to come forward. And tell me who the third spirit guide is.
Christopher.
Christopher. Who is Christopher?
Well, I don't know.
Ask Christopher who he is.
He's also my friend. He says that he's always been there with me.
He's always been there for you. Have you had lives on Earth with Christopher? Ask him.
No,
No.
but he says he's always been there.
How long has he been there for? When he says always, what does he mean by that?
I don't know. He says he is me.
He says he is you. Is he your higher self? Ask him.
Yeah.
Very good. Now that we know that Christopher is your higher self, we would like to ask Christopher some questions today. Ask Christopher if that's possible to ask him questions today.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to talk to Christopher directly, if that is all right. Christopher, Jeremy has some questions. And first of all, before we get to his questions, I would like to know how the life of the past life of Jeremy is affecting this current life of Jeremy. What's the impact that that past life had on this life?
I've been through multiple things that are similar situations, near-death experiences. They're there to wake you up.
Near-death experiences are there to wake us up.
To wake me up, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so that's why in the life as Jeremy, previous to this life, he had a couple of near-death experiences. Is that why Jeremy in this life has also had near-death experiences?
Yeah.
And have they helped to wake him up?
Yeah. The last life didn't wake him up as much as it needed to.
Is that why he repeated the name too? It kept the same name as Jeremy?
Yeah.
Is that why he also stayed in the same physical area on planet Earth as well? Sometimes that happens. Sometimes we'll repeat similar circumstances in a couple of lives if we're not getting the message.
Yeah.
And so, how is the previous life impacting his current life?
This makes him more in this lifetime more grateful for the little things, and it's easier to have joy, more easily able for him to have joy in that way. So to not need to reach out so much, to reach outside of himself. So meaning and purpose.
He needs to go within more for his meaning and his purpose and stop looking externally.
Yeah, that. It's more easier for him to find, and feel grateful, and then with the little things.
So, Christopher, let me ask you, why did this soul, who's Jeremy in this lifetime, why did he come to this planet? What was he wanting here?
Just to be able to, just enjoy what he has, and just being able to
enjoy what he has, to be able to what?
Just be able to share that with others as well.
To be able to share that with others as well. Is that why he's so passionate about raw food?
Yeah.
Because it's had an impact on him?
Be able to share the beauty of life, and being able to share that and have others experience and remember that life is so short.
Life is short.
It's good to make the best out of it no matter what.
Yes.
And not overthink the future or the past, and just go by quick.
Very good. So, what is his current life's purpose? Why did Jeremy come here in this life? What's he here to do?
I'm just here to have a very simple life, and just be able to share and just give the gift of joy.
Mm-hmm. Give the gift of joy. So it doesn't matter specifically what he does, as long as he is having a simple life and getting the gift of joy, then that is a purposeful life for him.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Is there anything else in his life purpose that you'd like to share with him, Christopher?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to share with him, Christopher?
There's no way to mess it up. No way to. There's no right way either. It's just the more you can simplify things and just keep following the messages that you receive.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Mm-hmm. Very good. So, Christopher, how can Jeremy best serve others in a way that all of his needs are met?
Again, just keep following that. Keep following that signal in the heart, and the mind will come in. And the mind will always come in and say, just make up stories of why it's hard, or any of these things, what's not possible, or having to need the details all in place before acting. Just knowing that when you just set your foot forward, it sets in place more things that just are all connected, and it's all
Mm-hmm.
it's all already taken care of.
It's all already taken care of. Wonderful. What are Jeremy's gifts?
Yeah, just to spread joy and love, and just being able to help others realize what they have within them. Reminding people that life doesn't have to be hard. It can be more fun and enjoyable than they think.
Mm-hmm.
And that they can live the life of their dreams without needing to change and control the outside so much.
Mm-hmm.
And just in general, just giving the gift of health, and just reminding people that you don't have to take everything so seriously.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So this sounds like this is a wonderful message to the world. He wants to know what his message to the world is. But what you're saying is keep it simple, spread joy, let go of external validation.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his message to the world?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Very good. He needs to know if there's a certain past life that he needs to know about right now.
Mm-mm.
No. Are there any past lives that Jeremy has lived that are affecting him adversely right now?
Mm-hmm.
What is? Which life?
The life before the one.
The life before the one that we just experienced, where he was Jeremy again?
Mm-hmm.
The life previous to that one? And can you take us to that life, please, Christopher? And show him that life? And describe it out loud so that we can all hear it.
Mhm.
Was he male or female?
Male.
Mm-hmm. And what happened in that life?
Mm. Chaos.
What kind of chaos?
Yeah, it's like more sadness and
More sadness?
mm,
What time period was that he had that life in the life previously to the last one?
it's like early 1900
Mhm. And what was he doing in that life?
He's just an artist.
He's an artist. What kind of an artist?
It's the murals, murals and canvas.
Mm-hmm. Murals and canvas. And what was the problem in that life?
Yeah, he struggled with money and stuff.
He struggled with money, and is that rolling over into his current life of the financial lack?
Mm-hmm.
So what did he want to learn in that life of being the artist in the 1900s? What was he learning?
Just learning to self-express with art.
To self-express with art?
Mm-hmm.
Why the financial lack?
He was never able to figure out actually how to realize the value that he has
Mm-hmm.
for others, and he would make art, but the art was great, but he always devalued his worth and thought that he needed to make money in a certain way with it, but he can never find that creativity and making his way with the actual creativity that he had, and that he realized that's all he needed. And
Mm-hmm. Kind of like in his current life then?
mm-hmm.
He just needs to be himself
Mm-hmm.
and be as creative as he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then the money will flow.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on that? Any other important information?
Mm-mm.
Very good. So now he wants to know, did he choose his parents in this life?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are the lessons he's learning with his parents? Because he still lives with his parents.
Patience.
Oh, patience. Why does he want to learn patience, Christopher?
So that he can just be free of worry.
Be free of worry.
Mm-hmm.
His parents are rather worried.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so they show him to let go.
Well, when his parents are worried, it sometimes worries him,
Mm-hmm.
even though he knows that it is working out.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes time, and when it's not showing up though as quick as he thought, then it's frustrated.
Anything else that he's learning with his parents besides patience?
Love, unconditional love.
Mm-hmm. Has he had other lifetimes with his parents? We saw that his mother was his mother in the life previous to this.
Mm-hmm.
Has he had many lives with his parents? Souls of his parents?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So he wants to know if travel is going to happen for him soon. He wants to travel to tropical places. Is that happening soon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not as soon as he thought, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. It will
Yeah.
happen eventually, though?
Soon, yeah. Just not as soon.
Just not as soon. So not this current calendar year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But this current calendar year is almost finished. So will it happen next year?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a year, Christopher? What year will he be traveling more? Because that's helpful for us. We're in linear time.
22.
Mm-hmm. Where will he be going when he travels?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Can you show him kind of like, some scenes? What does the scenery look like?
It's warm and sunny and fun.
Mm-hmm.
Birds.
Mm-hmm.
So nature, fruit, and
Mm-hmm.
people.
Is he traveling alone or is he traveling with friends?
With friends.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I'm going to count to 3. When I count to 3, you're going to be even more relaxed in your body. I'm going to lightly tap your forehead, and you will know even more all of the answers that you seek. 1, relaxing your spine even more. 2, all your answers are completely accessible to you. And 3, we know. Now, may I speak with Christopher, the higher self, please? Am I speaking with Christopher?
Yeah.
Thank you, Christopher. Now, Jeremy is teaching the raw lifestyle, and he wants to know if it's best for him to continue teaching the raw lifestyle. Is it?
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. Does he need to do anything differently with it, or does he need to stay on the same path he's on?
Just keep staying on the same path. It's going to, it might change a little bit, but it's going to be the same for, it's going to be the same for a while, but not exactly the same. It'll be changing in the way of the messaging that he has, but it's going to be continually aligned with his path, his life path, and what other people relate to and how he can best help them. So, of course, over time, as time goes, more lessons will be learned.
Very good. Anything else about that he needs to know? Very good. He wants to know how can he be happy and fulfilled and at peace and have his dreams come true.
Just quit thinking that things will go wrong. Quit thinking that things will go wrong, and it's all it takes is just opening the door and just walking into the other side of the door. And you already are on the path. There's no way of messing it up.
You're already on the path. There's no way of messing it up. Very good. So we found out what his money and abundance blocks are from. It's from the 19th century life. He wants to know how he can receive abundance naturally. What can you share with him, Christopher, about receiving abundance?
You just be yourself again. Like,
Just be yourself.
Simple as that. Like,
It is simple, isn't it? Because universe provides, doesn't it?
you put yourself out there, you let yourself be known, and you don't hold yourself back. And, as long as you're sharing your message, there's going to be people out there that need your help, that are going through something similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So simplify the mind, get the mind out of the way, and allow the flow to happen.
Yeah.
Universe is abundance.
Getting in the flow of being able to, just your routine, whatever your routine is it gets you feeling refreshed and grounded and yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Christopher. So he wants to know if there's anything that he needs to eat for nutritional balance, anything that he's missing, that his body needs, that his mind needs, that his emotions need, that he's not getting from his current diet.
No.
He's got a great diet, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. He's doing well. He just needs to keep eating what he's eating, and at the end of the day, he gets everything he needs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Christopher, can we do a chakra balance today?
Yeah.
Good. Can you go into the chakras, please? We're doing the 7 main from root all the way up to the crown chakra. And can you let me know if any of the chakras are blocked or clogged first?
The root chakra.
Mm-hmm. What's going on with the root chakra at the pelvic floor?
It's not open.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how would you like to open it today, Christopher?
Gently.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to use a color frequency or a sound?
Sound.
Mm-hmm. You go ahead and you use the sound, and you let me know when the chakra is open and balanced. Very good. Does it look like it's more open now? Mm-hmm. Okay, and scan the next chakra. Tell me how the sacral chakra looks between the hip bones.
Yeah, it's a block.
Mm-hmm. And what would you like to use to open that chakra up? Color or sound or something else? Mm-hmm. What color would you like to use?
Blue.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Go ahead and use the blue color, the frequency, and let me know when the sacral chakra is more open and balanced with the root. Very good. And now go up to the solar plexus chakra and tell me how that looks and feels.
Some more block a little bit.
Okay, so what would you like to use to open that up and to balance it with the other two?
Color.
What color would you like to use?
Purple.
Okay, go ahead and use the purple frequency and let me know when it's open and balanced.
Yeah.
Very good. Now go up to the heart and tell me, how does the heart look?
Yeah, it looks good, but I could use something.
Go ahead. Color frequency or sound, which one would you prefer?
Color.
What color frequency would you like to use?
Green.
Okay, go ahead and use the green and tell me when it looks much wider. The heart chakra should be more open. Very good. And now look at the upper chakras from the throat, the brow, and the crown. Do they look open enough?
No.
Okay, which are clogged?
Throat.
Okay. What color or what sound would you like to use for the throat to open it?
Some sound.
Use a sound. Go ahead.
Oh. 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 Okay.
Very good. Now go up to the brow. How does the brow chakra look at the third eye?
Could use some help.
Color frequency or sound? What color would you like to use? Go ahead, use the purple and let me know when that's nice and wide. Very good. Now go to the crown. And what would you like to use, color or sound?
Purple color.
Very good. Use the purple on the crown and open it really wide. And let me know when it's completely open. Thank you so much, Christopher. How do the chakras look now? Do they look nice and balanced?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So, Christopher, do you have any words of wisdom, any messages for humanity at this time of great turmoil and chaos and change?
Yeah, just kind of to choose sides. Choosing sides causes more division.
Choosing sides causes more division. Yes, it does.
Let's find what you guys have in common.
Find what we have in common.
Just don't allow if you disagree about something, just leave it at that.
If we disagree, just leave it at that.
You can find resolve. You can find resolve through what we agree on.
Find resolve what we agree on.
Just let go of having to be right.
Let go of having to be right.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else?
Yeah. Some people might feel alone and on the path of just, they might be the one person that thinks different in their family. They feel that they know the truth, and that really, when it comes down to it, we're all, most people are, they don't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter who's right at the end of the day. It matters that we take care of each other.
Mm-hmm. It just matters that we take care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Christopher. Are we complete today? Thank you so much. I want to thank all the guides, the higher aspects of you. And I ask that all of these higher fractals and higher reflections of yourself come into the heart of this beautiful body so that you have easier and clearer access to them and this inner wisdom of yourself. And I want to thank all of the characters, all of the personalities from all the lifetimes. And I want to ask that they also come into the heart center and integrate so that you have full access to all of their experiences so that it becomes a wholeness within yourself, a clarity that gives you the internal direction that you really need. As I count to 10, 1, 2, you feel wonderful, you feel relaxed. 3, 4, you feel like you've had a really peaceful, really conscious sleep. 5, 6, your body feels amazing, feels revitalized. 7, 8, you remember everything that you said, everything I said, everything that was spoken. And 9, 10, eyes open, wide awake. Welcome back. Mm-hmm. Walking in the time. How do you feel?
It was weird. That feels stretchy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Does your body feel warm at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's switch out the selenite for some shock. Are they hot?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Mildly.
Yeah. The shungite's going to be nice and cool because it's carbon.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very protective and grounding. So I highly recommend that you get shungite. Because it is very grounding. Yeah. How long do you think you were under for? What did it feel like to you?
Like an hour.
You went under at 2:39 p.m. and it is now 4:08.
Oh.
So a little over an hour.
Oh.
Yeah, more like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I know. Linear time is super flawed. So it's really good when you go under deep quantum hypnosis. It's really beneficial to then understand once the time is clocked that the left brain really doesn't have any concept of time because time loops. And time you can jump and time jumps, as you know already. But this is like the proof of it. That's what I love about quantum hypnosis, that you get the proof.
It was weird though, going into the past life.
What was weird about it?
Oh, it's just so real. Like the
You were surprised that you were blonde.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're surprised that you're blonde. You were surprised your name was Jeremy.
Yeah.
So you
I didn't believe
repeated, I know, you repeated a lot from that life into this life.
I feel that.
Yeah, that was a repeat. And
like the near-death stuff, and then my friend dying.
Yeah.
Like, well, I didn't think that was going to happen. And
it surprised you.
I actually felt that. Like,
I know you did. That was a big impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very sudden. You had a lot of sudden things happen. And what I kept hearing from your guides is you were being shown to live in the now. You set up that life and this life to force your ego, your mind, right here, right now. Be present, right here.
Yeah.
Because all there is now, and the mind gets so trained to think in linear, past, present.
Yeah,
future.
it just. That's why I feel so much fear, I guess, with the thinking about past and future or something, or the future especially.
The future doesn't exist.
I know.
There's no future at all. And this proves it. Going under quantum hypnosis really proves there is no future. There's also no past.
That was crazy. It's like, it makes me think like how much else is stored in my body.
Everything.
It's like,
everything.
Because obviously it's stored in my body if I felt those emotions, you know.
Everything is stored in your body. All of your ancestors' lives are stored in your DNA. Also know some of your other lifetimes are as your ancestors. You are some of your ancestors. Wow. To learn that will loop, will jump around in the ancestral lineage and play different roles. So,
wow.
Yep, that makes sense to me. When I learned that this year, because I learned that I am my great aunt on my dad's side 5 times removed.
Wow.
Yep. And I learned that.
Yeah, I feel like my mom was like.
Yes. Yeah. So
like the
she
same
did.
mom
She
or similar mom.
Your mom looped. She looped.
But she felt the same but different at the same time.
So it might not have been the exact soul of the mom you have now, but so what happens with that sometimes?
Just like the same.
There's the same essence and the same characteristics, but the soul of that mom in that life as Jeremy with blonde hair was probably the same mother you've had in other lifetimes. And there was just a familiarity to it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I did feel a little different, but
I felt she was different. I felt that she had expectations of you the way your mom does now. I got that. But I also got that she was a single mom.
Yeah.
I also got that you had a life, that last life spanned from the early part or the early mid 20th century. And it landed up right before you came into this body. Because you paid 25, you paid a quarter and a payphone. That's why I asked those details.
So the 20th century is 1990.
That you were born at the very end of the 20th century, of the 20th century, which is the 1900s. You were born in this life at the very end.
Yeah, I felt
so the majority of that life was actually in the bulk of the 20th century.
Yeah,
in the 1900s.
I felt that it was like older.
Yep.
That was so weird.
When I was like, so I heard your guys say, ask how he does the payphone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, do you use a coin in the payphone? Yeah. How much does the payphone cost? 25 cents. And I was like, and that brought me back to my childhood in the 1970s. So when I was a really little kid, we paid a dime. And that was the very early 70s. We paid 10 cents for a phone call. In the phone booth, you walked in it and you pulled you pulled the door shut. It was all made of glass.
Mm-hmm.
And then in, I want to say, the very early 80s
Mm-hmm.
is when they had the open phone booth
Mm-hmm.
with just two sides and there's no bottom. And that's when they increased it to a quarter. Was the very early 80s, like 80, 81.
So you think that was like the 80s maybe?
So I have a feeling that was the very early 80s, because that when they changed the design of the payphone, they upped it to a quarter, and we were all mad. You're like, what? How can you charge 25 cents for a phone call? That's crazy. That's so expensive.
How was it the 80s though? Why do you think it was the 80s? That was
when you went to make a phone call when Josh died, when Josh was killed, that was early 80s.
So it must have been.
Not all phone booths were changed. Just know that.
I must have been older than what came through. Because
might have been. Remember, you're time jumping. Your time. So don't try to think of it as linear. Don't try to think of it through your left brain.
So
the left brain will go, wait a minute, it could have been. Yes, it could have been, because time changes.
Like a different dimension or something.
It could have been in a different dimension.
Yeah.
Time changes, time accelerates, time shifts all the time. This is what I've learned through this work.
That makes sense now, because you think of it like people are like, oh, I've been here for millions of years. But like, well, Earth hasn't been here that long. So
yes, it has.
Like, but then like different time zones. You think of it differently.
Earth is looped millions of rounds. Remember, if you think of time as looping, circular, time is circular. Just like the Earth is circular, it's not a flat Earth, because people who are flat Earthers believe that everything's about linear. There's no linear. It's a continuum. It loops.
Yeah, still downloading this.
Yeah, you will. Let's take a pause. And then it's in progress. So just breathe and focus on feeling. Yep, because the feeling is what's important. Okay, so you just had your first hypnosis, and you went for the big one by having quantum healing hypnosis. Healing through the heart. Does your heart feel more open, Jeremy? Okay, so because your ego wants to come in and like, oh my God, I want to like analyze that, which is normal. That's very normal. How is your body feeling, first of all?
I'm more like, aware of my body. It's more light.
Yeah.
More light and open.
Feel a lot lighter. Do you feel strange?
Yeah, a little bit.
You're still under a little bit. It takes a while to come out of deep levels of hypnosis. You went under really deeply. Your eyes were opening up sometimes. Were you aware of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's common. That happens to me all the time. So like, hi, sweetie, come on up and see us. Come here, Moon. Come and see the shell. Okay, so you brought this shell. The shell is amazing. The shell is absolutely incredible. We'll show the shell. This is such so what we love about it is the Fibonacci spiral. And the texture is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the shell was kind of the anchor of the session, besides the cats. Besides the kitties who slept on the floor on the back of the hypnosis bed the entire time and held that vibration so beautifully. So, do you feel like all of your questions were answered? Did you get all your answers that you were looking for? Because we asked all your questions.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely did. Yeah. I felt like it was, yeah, maybe not what my mind expected it to be a little bit, but
Do you remember what your higher self called itself?
Christopher.
Christopher,
Yeah.
did that surprise you? Have you heard the name Christopher before?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I feel like I have, but I don't know
Yeah.
what from. But
Well, that's probably what it's from, in
Yeah.
meditation, or when you're having those lucid moments. Do you remember that Christopher was kind of laughing at you sometimes? Some of your questions, Christopher was kind of like,
yeah,
do you remember what the messages were? Like, you were asking what your life purpose is. What's your life purpose?
my life purpose is to just like help people remember, like, not to take life so seriously, and just make it to where they can speak their own truth without being afraid of other people, and bring that joy and allow people to feel that joy naturally, and knowing that we don't have to take life so seriously.
Don't take life so seriously, and simplify. Live simply.
Yeah. Simplify.
You wanted to know about financial flow and abundance. Christopher laughed at that.
Oh, yeah.
And said, it's all there for you.
Yeah, it's just there. And
it's just there.
As long as I'm on my path and following my path and just doing what comes naturally, things will line up, as long as I'm like just making sure I'm like getting out of the mind. That
was the message Christopher was saying. Don't think about these things anymore. Feel it, know, and trust, and live simply.
Yeah, simply.
Live simple, connect with people.
Simple living, connect with people.
Share your passions.
And cherish those relationships.
Cherish the relationships. Share your passion.
Yeah, share your passion.
Share your passion, and live simply, and everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Everything flows. Yep. Stop worrying.
That's exactly it.
Yep. And I asked about the message for humanity as well. Do you remember what the message for humanity was?
Oh, yeah. Try not to feel like you're right in a situation, and like get rid of that, or just like be aware, like when you're trying to feel like you're right.
Even if you disagree.
Yeah,
even
if you disagree, you guys can find the things you have in common.
Find the commonalities.
And then you can find resolve through just dropping the being right.
Being right. Stop trying to be right and learn through your differences.
Yeah.
And find your commonalities to connect you. Yeah. So you actually saw a couple past lives.
Yeah.
You saw the life before this one, and then the life before that one.
Yeah.
And how they're.
At first I was like, I didn't know the second one was gonna come in. I didn't know.
They usually do when we get the soul out of the past life that they're seeing, and then usually it comes through the spirit guides. It's okay. So what's affecting this current life? Well, is there another life that's affecting this life? I mean, sometimes you can see a lot of lives just through going through your questions.
The artist one makes sense though, because it's kind of like what I'm doing. Like, obviously I do art, but not as often as I used to.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah. But it's like my life is kind of like an art, because it's like just creativity and just flowing,
Yeah.
So, but it's
no,
good.
That didn't surprise me. I was like, oh yeah, he was an artist. You were frustrated.
Yeah, and like sometimes I get like no. Yeah.
But that's okay. Yeah. So what is typically experienced post session is, first of all, difference. I feel different. I feel really light. I feel a little strange. And then the ego will come in and doubt that it was valid. Did you feel like you were hearing your ego during the session?
A little bit, yeah. I was like, wait, maybe
yeah,
am I making it up?
Am I making this up? That's the number one thing. Am I making all this up?
Yeah.
What I love about what Dolores Cannon, who created QHHT, what she was saying is, well, where do you think you'd be making this up from? Where do you think this information comes from? It's coming from your higher self. And she called it the subconscious self. Just like it's coming from the subconscious. Hello. You tapped into your own Akashic records.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like actually going back into the first past life we want to do, like I actually was crying.
You were.
And I was like,
You were emoting and you were surprised at your own emotion.
yeah.
You were surprised you were blonde.
Mm-hmm.
You were surprised you were 6.
Yeah.
You went into being a 6-year-old blonde boy named Jeremy.
Yeah.
Which is your current life name. And that's not uncommon either.
Mm-hmm.
When what we do is sometimes we'll recreate some similarities from other lifetimes because those are the same lessons. If we didn't learn the lessons, we'll just kind of change some things around.
Yeah.
But that's when the ego goes, oh, you're making that up. That can't be true. That can't be real. Yes, it is. It's very real. Or like if you have a life as a famous person. I've had a couple lives as famous people.
Wow.
And my ego will go, well, yeah, it's not really that big of a deal though. My ego will go, oh, there's no way you could have been him. Because there's 2 famous males. You could not have been him. Yeah, I could have, and I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been regressed by more than 7 quantum hypnotists, and it all came up valid from 7 different quantum hypnotists.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, it is valid, and it just keeps recurring. It's not like it's a one-time thing that I made up. It just keeps coming up because there's still things in it that I didn't resolve.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't learn. It happens.
It makes me wonder though, like with the past life, my friend died
Josh.
He got hit by a car.
Got hit by a car, and dramatically. All of a sudden it was there.
Yeah,
it was
we cried. Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't even see that one come out. I was remote viewing, and I was like, oh, and like the emotion that came up for you, and I was like, oh my gosh, and then I heard your higher self come in and say, he's always being pushed to be in the now.
Mm.
And I was like, oh. All the theme of the life is to be here now and experience for the sake of experience. And that is the same as this current life is Jeremy. That life is Jeremy. This life is Jeremy. Be present, be here now. Don't get caught up in the narrative. Don't watch other people. Don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself. Just be authentically, uniquely you. You chose to be Aquarius in this life.
Mm-hmm.
Be uniquely you. Don't compare yourself. Beat your own drum and follow life and be simple and share that with others. Aquarius is about humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Share your unique self with others in your own unique way. And life will flow and be really simple with it.
Yeah.
That's your life purpose, Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
You can make money however you make money. You're into health. So that's how you're making money, is in health.
Yeah.
And we totally know so many people need health right now.
Right.
It's one of the ways that I make my living is through teaching people health. But we know we have to be the example that we're teaching.
Yeah, exactly.
I live healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you follow me on social media and you're like, I want to see if she's really the healthy, because we know that not all people on social media who say they're healthy are healthy.
Right. I've had some friends like that. Yeah.
But am I really healthy? Yes. Do I really eat a raw plant life? Yes, I do. You're even in my home. You've even seen my kitchen. Yeah, I even have a little gift of some purple grapes for you to take with you.
Oh, I'll trade. I brought some grapes.
Yeah. No. We don't need grapes right now. I have so many grapes. I can send you home with organic black grapes.
Oh, nice.
But we really live this way. And it is a simple life, and we do share that with others.
Yeah.
That's your life purpose.
I think it's just the mind comes in sometimes and feels like,
And
it
doubts.
has to be different or like something.
I have to do something different. I have to do something that society will recognize or validate, or all of that stuff comes in too.
Or like when I question, like, am I on my path or all this stuff? Yeah.
You are on your path.
Yeah.
Totally.
Definitely.
Totally on your path. Would you recommend quantum healing hypnosis to others?
Oh, definitely.
What would you recommend about it?
I would recommend doing it because it just helps you, of course, get the answers out that you already know, but just get the mind out of the way, and, experience, like remember things that you really maybe were unconscious of, like those, for example, for me, it was the past lives. I could probably, but with your guidance, it was much easier. We
all need a witness.
As somebody there guiding me and helping me let go of the mind and feel
Yeah,
into the body.
when you're with an experienced practitioner, and I've been through, I've been in my sessions with experienced practitioners and some not so experienced practitioners. When you're in the session with an experienced practitioner, there's a continual flow.
Yeah.
And it's like, and so that keeps the ego over here, and that keeps your right brain opening up, and that keeps a continuous stream of information from higher up coming in.
Yeah.
There has to be this balance of pause and then flow. Pause to let you feel everything. Like I said, take a moment and feel the emotions of when Josh got hit by the car.
Yeah.
You needed to express that, and it surprised you. I could feel that you were surprised that you were being emotional. It was like, oh my gosh, this is, and I don't know if you actually thought this or what, but I almost heard you go, oh my gosh, this is real. I'm emoting about this. This actually happened.
No, I was thinking that.
Were you?
Yeah.
Because that's what I heard in my mind. I'm like, oh, he's totally surprised. This is really showing him this really did happen. He's surprised at his own emoting that his best friend got hit by a car.
Like right there.
Like right there. Shocking.
Yeah, but I feel it's real. Like I feel it actually happened.
Totally real. It totally
like
happened.
That's weird.
It happened.
So weird.
The left brain will go, that's weird. How's that possible?
No, it's weird how it, like, I remember that, and I didn't remember it, and now I do.
I know. Isn't it amazing? It's the emotions that validate it, because why else would you have an emotional reaction?
Exactly.
You wouldn't unless it actually happened.
Yeah, because we hold it in our body, right? So
we do.
In our emotional body. And
we hold it in our DNA as well. The DNA is imprinted with those codes. It's all coding. Emotions are codes. The mental body is codes. It's all coding.
Wow.
Well, this was awesome. This was really, really fun to have an afternoon with you. And this was really fun for me to guide you, because Christopher, your higher self, is simple, relaxed, and funny. Just like, this is what and you are your higher self. This is what you were doing to your higher self. With one of your questions, which is, like, how can I release my blocks, my financial blocks and my abundance blocks? And there was this, and then that laugh, and then it was like, it's all there for him. if you would just relax and just let it flow and just do what you do, be in the moment, trust, like it's all good. It all flows. It's okay. It's all okay. You're on your path. You're already on it. You're doing so. Jeremy should continue teaching the raw food lifestyle. Yes, he's on his path. He needs to continue. You'll see it. He needs to continue. Yes, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He overthinks. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny when you are able to get under hypnosis and all of a sudden all the wisdom comes through? And then you're like, ego, shush. I don't want to hear from you anymore. You are second guessing everything and you're sabotaging life.
Yeah.
That's why the ego's job is like the child. The ego's job is like when you see those baby Bjorns that are worn on the front of parents' chests right at the heart. And the baby is just like, oh, new stuff. Oh, wow. That's the ego's job, is to sit there in the little virtual baby Bjorn in front of your heart and go, oh, look at that cobalt blue color. Oh, look at that. I didn't know that. Oh, that's just fascinating. That's the ego's job. We give the ego way too much power. It's not the ego's job to go, hey, I don't think you should do that. Hey, you're two. I don't think you have any discernment as to whether I should or should not do that. Your job is to look at the pretty colors and discover and to bring in new wonderment into our lives. But nobody gave you decision-making power. Take back the decision-making power from your ego. Don't let your ego make any decisions. You would not let a 2-year-old drive a car.
Exactly.
This is your car. Don't let your ego drive it. Because your ego will just sabotage it. Oh, no, we can't do that. Shush. Nobody asked you. Go over there. Yeah. That's seriously. When humanity gets ego back here and going, oh, bells and whistles. When we do that, the whole world is going to shift. When we can get back to living in the now, enjoying the experience, and enjoying creating from feeling just for the sake of it, and zero judgment. Judgment comes from the ego.
Yeah.
When we can get judgment out of the way, there's no right or wrong. There just is. And everything's for experience. That's going to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to change everything. And it takes one person at a time to do that. That's my job, is to help one light worker at a time wake up to their self.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this system helps. So if you would like to have a session with me, QHH Healing Through the Heart, please go to my website, soniawilderwellness.com. And when it's your time, it will align. It aligned for you easily. I live so in the moment. I live so in the now that sessions it just flows like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have clients booked out 2 months in advance. They just come up. It's been like that more and more and more as the kitties are running around. Okay. Yay. That was really fun.
Yes.
That was so good.
It was really fun.
Thank you, Sonia.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jeremy. All right.